Hello everyone, my name is Corey Bryant and I'm the founder and director here at Ashtanga Nashville, where we practice yoga every day. And I just wanted to take a moment to share with you what I traditionally share in our intro to Ashtanga class that we sometimes have on Saturdays. But I thought I would just go ahead and put it out here online for everyone to be able to watch at their convenience. So just to give you a bit of an understanding of what we do here and hopefully encourage you to come in and give it a try. So it's Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga. And one of the simplest ways, most direct ways, I think, to explain that is to approach each of those words. And what do they mean? And how do they come together to create this, what we do here at Ashtanga Nashville? So yoga, we'll start at the end. Yoga is a word that's become pretty widely known, but there are so many different takes on what it actually is. But one of the ways that we can look at it, which is just one of the ways, I'm not saying it's the only one, is by referencing the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, which are an ancient text, somewhere around 2,000 years old, that was a codification, a bringing together of information that had been passed down orally for centuries prior to that, explaining this process of yoga. And in the beginning of that book, the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali, the second sutra is 1.2, and it says, Yogash Chitta Vritti Nirodha. And what that means, if I just translate it sort of directly, is yoga is the work with the mind, the process of quieting your mind, making space for your mind to experience the world in a different way, experience yourself in a different way. So that, in essence, is a really good way of looking at what yoga is in terms of what we do here. We are coming in and using our bodies, and not just our bodies, but our minds, our breath, and other tools as well, to work with the mind and understand our thoughts, understand where they're coming from, understand which ones we want to change, understand which ones we want to let go, understand which ones we want to carry forward and build from. And in the process, begin to maybe take a little bit more control of what's going on in our minds and quiet it down, slow it down, manage the thoughts, you could say. And so yoga is that process of working with the mind. And then vinyasa is a word that you could interpret as purposeful or special placement. Moving with purpose. And what that does is, moving with purpose is a way of directing our actions. Like we all have to act. Like we don't have a choice. Like being in this world, having a body, just creates this situation where we're doing things, we're acting. And a lot of the time though, these actions maybe don't have a whole lot of consciousness, a whole lot of thought behind them. So what's really special about what you do when you come into a yoga class and work with your body on the mat is that you're working to make each movement conscious and purposeful and for a reason. And that's very special. That's a really special thing. So that makes this vinyasa work quite unique and quite powerful in our lives, this time that we spend on the mat, using our body as a tool for working with the mind. So it connects that vinyasa and yoga. And then Ashtanga, it takes that in a more specific way. So Ashta means 8, and Anga means limb. And what that's saying is that there are 8 different, this is also in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, Sutra 2.29, it lists these 8 different aspects, 8 different components of yoga, how to work with the mind. And one of those, called asana, which is the third limb, is what has widely become known as yoga. It's this postural practice that we do, moving the body. All right, but that's just one of the 8 limbs. There are 7 others, and they start with an ethical foundation for how we behave in the world and how we behave toward others. So that's what the first 2 limbs are about. They're very sort of outward focused and then focused on taking care of oneself. So it's how we treat others, how we take care of ourselves, first 2 limbs. Third limb is then that asana practice, the postural practice. So we start working with the body in a more purposeful way, the breath, and as a way of accessing the mind. And then focusing the mind. And then the 4th limb is breath work, pranayama. Okay? 5th limb is pratyahara. It's working with the senses. Our senses are how we interact with the world. We go out into this physical world, material world, we collect information, we bring it in, and then that feeds our thinking mind. So it's important then as a practice to start paying attention to how the senses are working, and maybe even taking those senses and turning them inward to understand ourselves better and sort of detach a bit from everything that's going on outside us. So it gives us that time. It's a very special time on the mat where we turn our senses inward and kind of eliminate distractions. So that's one of the reasons why here at Ashtanga Nashville there's no music in the classes. There's not a whole lot of other stuff going on. It is just very simple, you on the mat doing your practice and working with the teacher to develop that practice. All right, and then the 6th, 7th, and 8th limbs really start going inward. Very internally focused work with the mind. They're the sort of meditation limbs. So the 6th limb is called dharana, and it means concentration, beginning to focus the mind more. 7th limb is dhyana, it means meditation. So your mind really starts to become merged with and very focused with that object that you've chosen for your meditation. It could be your breath, it could be the posture. And then the 8th limb is samadhi, which is like a change in perspective and in an understanding of the connectedness of the world, and that our actions do affect one another, and that we are sort of sharing this consciousness that creates a sentience, a connection, and a being in the world. Okay, so those 8 limbs, that's Ashtanga. Now, what happened then is about 100 years ago or so, some men in India began to take that information and really take the Ashtanga 8 limbs and infuse that more into the development of this postural practice. Because as modern age has come, I think people need more and more to move their bodies as a way of kind of working out all the stuff that our mind is processing, and the feelings and the emotions and everything becomes part of us. And so this postural practice begins a way of kind of peeling back those layers and really beginning to understand ourselves better and connect with something higher. That's sort of the spiritual side of this practice. Start to feel that and be able to make space to connect with that. And so they created Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga, which is what we practice here. And it does value all the 8 limbs with a daily emphasis on working with the body as a way to work with the mind. And so they created these set sequences that we follow. And everybody starts in the same place, and it is a great way to start as a beginner. Like, you can come in here during the Mysore practice, the hours are online, you come in, and even if you don't know anything, totally great, totally welcome, not a problem at all. All you need to do is be here, and I will teach you, myself or the other teachers here, we will work with you directly and teach you the practice. So even though there are other people in the room, they're doing their own thing. So everybody starts to learn it, and then you come in and you're doing the practice, and each day working with the teacher and developing it further. Initially, a lot of it is about just learning the sequence. You know, where does my right foot go? Where does my right arm go? My left arm, like what are things doing? You're just kind of working out the sequence. of movements, of postures. And then once you begin to know that, your mind is able to focus more subtly, more inwardly on the breath, say. And this is where the practice can, over time, start to become a form of moving meditation. So there is great opportunity for getting to know yourself better and beginning to work with the mind more effectively and transforming yourself. There's a transformation process that happens through this practice that is such a beautiful and valuable thing that makes us appreciate our life, our friends, our family, appreciate the impact of our actions, our words, and be able to put more mindfulness behind those things and show up as the person we really want to be in the world. Okay, so that's Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga, and you are welcome to come here and begin to learn about that. And please don't be intimidated. A lot of really wonderful, friendly people here. Some who've been doing it for years, and some have just started. So it's a very supportive environment where everyone is welcome. Okay? And the practice does not have to look a specific way. So that's the other really valuable thing about this. We're working within a system, but we can tailor the system to you. So that it can fit your life and work with the sort of psychological, physical, spiritual goals that you have in your life and the reason that you want to pursue a practice of working with the mind and the body. All right? So with that, I just want to take a little moment here, and I'm going to show you what you would do on your first day when you come in. The very first sort of physical thing you would do, just so you have an idea. It's called a sun salutation, Surya Namaskara A. And we start standing. We're creating this equal standing posture called Samastitihi. Alright, standing nice and tall. So we begin to develop a greater connection to the earth and more awareness of how we are standing and breathing. Alright? And then from here it's an inhale, taking the arms up. And exhale, folding forward over your legs. Maybe here if you need to, if you have a stiff back. And then you're bending the knees, planting your hands, and stepping back to a plank pose. And we can modify any of these things as we need to. And then we're inhaling and doing an up dog. Stretching through the body. And we're exhaling and coming to a down dog. Probably the most famous of all yoga poses. And we're breathing here in and out through the nose. Five breaths. Steady, even breath through the nose. And then bending the knees and stepping forward and inhaling here. Spine nice and long. Exhaling, folding over the legs. Inhaling, coming back up. And exhaling, arms alongside the body. Back to Samastitihi. So, every day, every single one of us here in the Ashtanga practice, we start our days that way. And it's interesting, it creates this bond between us. It kind of recognizes the connection between us all. And it wakes you up. It just wakes up the limbs, lets you kind of experience your whole body. It can become like a little prayer even. A time for kind of turning yourself inward and connecting with your breath, and calming your mind. All right? So please come, give it a try. You're all welcome, and I hope to work with you soon. And you can reach out to me anytime at hello@ashtanganashville.com. hello@ashtanga, ASHTANGA, Nashville.com. Happy to chat. All right? Have a good one.